Reversing narcissistic abuse. Reverse the devaluation. You have value simply because you exist. Today, apparently, I am not speaking English. Why people in this channel aren't hearing what I'm saying. There's a reason why people are not hearing what I am saying. So I uploaded a long video yesterday. I had nothing better to do, and I couldn't think of something. I wanted to do something, so I made that video. As always, I ended up making it far too long. But I was a little, softer delivery on, what you need to do to heal. And the responses told me once again, reminded me once again, that people who are infected with narcissistic devaluation syndrome, or what many people call codependents, many people who are infected with this, they are incapable of hearing certain things. They can hear some things, like when I start talking about what's wrong with the borderline, they perk up, they can hear that. But if I start talking about what is the most important thing to heal, all of a sudden they can't hear anything I'm saying. This is part of the infection. So let me be clear again what the point of this channel is. The point of this channel is it's a two-step point. The point of this channel is to give you the specific tools that will absolutely cure you of your narcissistic devaluation trauma pain that you are experiencing as a result of being infected by a borderline or a narcissist. I am well aware of the crippling pain. I am well aware of it. In fact, that pain is lethal. This is why I'm so dead serious about this. That pain is lethal. The pain that you are feeling, if you have not followed my suggestions, that pain will continue to infect you, go more and more deeper into your psyche, and it will stay with you forever. It will not go away on its own. And by the way, therapy won't cure it. Therapy doesn't have the tools. Therapy only works in conjunction when you work all 12 steps with the sponsor. If you're doing that first and you're going to therapy, therapy will help. The same way that putting a little salt on your food will make it taste better. You can't eat the salt. It's not going to do anything for you. Put a little bit of salt on your food, your food will taste better. You'll get a nutrient that you appreciate. So if you're just going to therapy, I'm here to tell you that's not going to accomplish anything. Not in the long run. So the twofold purpose of this channel is, number one, the analysis that I give you about borderlines and narcissists and why they do what they do and what's going on in their mind has one purpose only. It is to grab your attention because I know you want to hear about them and what's wrong with them, because your infection tells you that as long as I know what's going on with them, I can protect myself and I can control the situation. And unconsciously, you really want to be able to heal them. And you think if you know what's wrong with them, you can heal them and then they'll love you. So I do that to get your attention. But analyzing them is meaningless to your healing. 100% meaningless. It does nothing for you. You might get a rush from it, but it won't give you healing. So the two-step process of this channel, number one, I do the analysis to get your attention and to help you realize that you cannot get what you want from these people. They cannot give you love. It is impossible. You will never get it. Hopefully I do that. The second thing that I do in this two-step process of this channel is I then come in and tell you exactly what to do to heal yourself of the narcissistic devaluation disorder infection that you are suffering from. If you do not follow my instructions to the letter and completely, you will not heal. In the exact same kind of way, if you go to the doctor and you have a bacterial infection, pus leaking out, and the doctor says you need to take these antibiotics. You're suffering from this very deadly flesh-eating bacteria. Take this and you will heal. If you do not follow the directions on the medication container, it won't work and you will stay infected, and in fact it might even get worse. So I am telling you the same thing. If you don't follow my instructions to the letter completely, you will not heal from this infection, and it in fact may end up destroying your entire life. I have interacted with people who have had this, who have been devalued and destroyed by narcissists and borderlines, and they have lived with it for 30, 40 years. It has given them all kinds of psychological and physical stress-related illnesses, including cancer. So I am not screwing around here. If you want to heal, you need to listen to what I'm saying. I don't care if you like my delivery. I don't care if you agree with me or not. I don't care if you like me. I have only one interest, and that is to give the healing to the people who are ready and willing to follow instructions and be healed. Now, why wouldn't somebody do that, you ask? If I give you the example of somebody who goes in and the doctor says you have flesh-eating bacteria, take this antibiotic and you'll heal, and I tell you that that person went home, read the bottle, then researched flesh-eating bacteria, and then researched the antibiotic, maybe tasted it, took a couple of them, decided he didn't like the way that it tasted, put it down, said, I'll come back to this later when things are more convenient. If I gave you that, if I were to tell you that that really happened, you would say, what is wrong with that person? There's obviously something wrong mentally. There's obviously some mental block that's preventing them from seeing how grave the situation is. There's obviously something wrong with them that would make them think that they're okay when they're not. So the difference is that when you have narcissistic devaluation syndrome infection, when you have been damaged by a borderline or a narcissist, by being in a romantic relationship with them, your mind has been infected. Your thinking is not clear. You are, in fact, addicted to the very thing that is destroying you. It would be, again, same guy goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, oh my God, you have deadly flesh-eating bacteria. You need to take this antibiotic and follow these instructions. Imagine if his response was, so why is the bacteria trying to harm me? The doctor would be saying, what are you talking about? It's a bacteria. That's what it does. Follow instructions. Ah, very good. Very interesting. I really like your approach. That is really great. So the antibiotics, what exactly is because some antibiotics aren't really, I've heard, aren't that great. The doctor's going to be like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? This is exactly what you do. Don't believe me? I'm going to prove it to you. First, listen to what I say in the beginning of this video. Nobody listened to, at least the people that commented. Didn't hear what I had to say. And I understand, I'm not blaming you. You can hear a lot of intensity in my voice. I'm not blaming you. You have a psychological infection, an addiction that is continuously telling you that you're going to be okay, that nothing is really that bad, that nothing is wrong with you. It's not you, it's them. This is an infection. It's a psychological delusion. It is an addiction. You can't hear very simple instructions. Work all 12 steps with a sponsor. Go to ppgrecoveredcodependents.org or CODA or Adult Children of Alcoholics or whatever 12-step group you want. Work the steps do your inventory about your partner, follow all the 12 steps, sponsor somebody else, I guarantee you complete healing. You can't hear that. I'm going to prove it to you. Here's what I said in the beginning of the video. Again, just to remind you, watching my channel and listening to my analysis is not going to give you any lasting healing. So if you are somebody who's been watching the channel, you watch a lot of videos, you might even get a dopamine rush from the feeling of, oh, I understand this, and feeling like you have some control. And you might feel like you're getting some help, but it's temporary. So if you really want to heal, follow my advice. That's it. And then I give you my advice at the end of the channel. So you didn't hear that. Now, part of it was because I had a low, vibe that, my delivery was softer than normal because, for whatever reason, people tell me I'm too harsh. But then when I see these responses, I remember, oh my God, these people are deluded. They are trapped in a syndrome, in a psychological syndrome. They are functioning as though they have a mental illness. They are addicted to the very thing that they're complaining about. And, again, if you go to the doctor and the doctor says, okay, you have flesh-eating bacteria, here's the cure, if your question is anything other than what do I need to do to heal, the doctor is going to go, that question is a waste of your time. Follow instructions and heal. When I give you these videos, nobody asks, literally nobody. Nobody asks the question, what can I do to heal? They ask the same kinds of crazy questions that somebody with flesh-eating bacteria asks. Well, so tell me more about this bacteria. Why does it try to do what it's doing? Where did it come from? What's the history of it? And the antibiotic, where did this come from? I heard it was bad on my stomach. That's the kind of, listen, what you're suffering from, narcissistic devaluation syndrome, is an infection in your mind that has the potential to kill you. And it will stay within you for the rest of your life if you don't do the exact healing process. You won't know that, by the way, if you don't follow my suggestions. The only people who say, well, you're so legalistic about it, those people never follow my suggestions. The people who follow my suggestions, by the way, I didn't make up the 12 steps. I didn't invent them. But I know that they work. Just like the doctor didn't invent antibiotics, but he knows that they work. He's had experience with them. He's watched them. Same thing. So coming to me and trying to attack me by saying I'm being too harsh with you and I'm being legalistic, who cares? Ask the right questions and then take the right actions. So just to give you an example, in this same video, this person says, now I responded to this person, and to their credit, they seem to have got it. Time will tell. But this isn't an attack on you. I'm just using this as an example. This is the first comment after me saying what I just played back for you. Watching my videos isn't going to help you. You have to follow my instructions to heal. First thing this person says is, hi Mike, are there any breakthrough healing moments that stand out to you in your journey working with Codependents Anonymous and your sponsor that you would be comfortable sharing with us? Again, we're back in the doctor's office and you hand the antibiotics to the patient and the patient says, thank you so much. Are there any inspiring stories that you can tell me about taking antibiotics and how they've been? The doctor's like, oh my God, who cares? Just take them. He goes on to say, after asking me if I can give him any breakthrough healing moments in my recovery with 12 steps, he says, thanks for sharing the links for those organizations that can get us a sponsor quickly. He goes on to say, I'm in the middle of a big life move right now, but I want to get in the program once I'm finished moving and settling in. again, the doctor, you go, thank you so much. You know what? I'm going to leave these here with you. I'm in a big move right now, and it's a little inconvenient, and I don't want to have my stomach upset as I'm moving. I'm going to be back here in a couple of months. I'm going to take you up on that. Doctor's going to be like, in a couple of months, you're going to be twice as sick as you are now. If you want to be able to have a more comfortable experience moving, you might as well take the medication, make your infection go down. It's exactly what's happening here. This person has no idea, has no clue that what is blocking them from asking the right question, which is not, can you give me an inspiring thing that'll tell me about... His question is, what can I do right now to heal? He didn't ask that. He goes on to ask, did your expertise on these dynamics solely come from working the steps? Yes. Yes. So here's what this person doesn't understand. It's going to show up later. I'm going to show you because there's another comment later on. You're going to see this in full swing. This person doesn't realize this. It's fully unconscious. They had no intention of doing what I'm about to reveal. So this is a passive-aggressive way of bolstering their ego and their denial and their unwillingness to follow directions. First thing he's doing is first what he wants to know is he wants to know, do I really have to work the steps? That's really the question here. That's like the guy saying, the guy says, can you give me some inspiring message about somebody taking antibiotics? That's him. That's a passive-aggressive way of saying, I don't think I really need to take antibiotics. And I'm going to back that up because I'm not going to take them right away. When it's convenient, I'm going to do it. It's a passive-aggressive way of trying to placate somebody's ego. This is how you've been trained. Your parents and or your abusers have trained you to continuously placate people's ego. Later on, you're going to hear somebody try to train me to do that, tell me to placate people's ego by making them feel supported. You know, the doctor's like, look, you want to go to a therapist after I give you the medication, go right ahead. My job isn't to be your therapist. My job is to give you the medication or you're going to die. That's what the doctor's saying. I'm doing the same thing here. I know from personal experience as well as observation and research that people who have been infected with narcissistic devaluation syndrome, I know that they are deeply, deeply in a self-protection mode, and they are deluded, and their brain is working overtime to do this kind of thing. So he's placating my ego by wanting me, go ahead, please, pontificate a beautiful, inspiring message. That's supposed to distract me by making me feel, admired and supported, and that way I stop pointing out, you need to work the steps if you want to heal. It's designed to soften the message so that the person can then follow through on their denial. It's very passive-aggressive. It's aggressive. It's an attack against the other person. The real unconscious message, you don't know that you said this, but the real unconscious message is, F you, Mike. I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to placate your ego so you're going to get distracted from what I really want to say. And because I have such an ego about it, I have to tell you. And then I have to justify it. And your response when I say, I'm going through a big life move right now, so your response is supposed to be, well, I hope that my inspiring message inspired you. And yeah, I hope you get through it. But, get to those steps, Tiger. You can do it. And then the person can take their time and decide to do it or not do it. Or just like with an addiction, I'll quit tomorrow. It's okay. I don't have to quit now. I'll quit tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. You're suffering from an addiction. Even if you're not in the relationship, the dynamic in your mind is an addiction. Let's keep going. Somebody else, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but somebody else says, I've completely moved on from my BPDX and I am now following the law of attraction. That's what's working for me. I don't know you, but I don't believe that's the case. I don't believe you. If you haven't followed instructions, you haven't healed. And I know, be honest with yourself, the pain is still there. You might have found a way to distract yourself. I got nothing against with using the law of attraction to better your life. There are better ways to do it, but that works just fine. I mean, it doesn't work fine, but I mean, it works. There are better ways to do it, but the law of attraction, I guarantee you, will not heal your narcissistic devaluation syndrome infection. And I don't believe you're free of pain. You want to be free of pain so that you don't have to use the law of attraction to divert you and distract you temporarily, because what I read here is it temporarily distracts you from the pain. You want to be in a place where you don't have that. I have zero pain. Everybody listen to me. When it comes to the relationship that I went through, the devaluation, I have zero pain about it. I have zero anger. I talk about her, I give you examples to let you know that I know what you're talking about, but I'm not angry with her. I don't hate her. I don't need to never see her again. I don't need to see her. I don't care if she's alive or dead, happy or sad. I wish the best for her, but I personally have zero pain about it. In fact, I forget her name quite frequently. In fact, I can't remember it at the moment. And now that's annoying me. Anyway, I'll remember it, but I swear to you, I can't remember her name. That's how little impact she has on me. All right, let's keep going. Now, here is a better example. This person, I don't know them, but I can tell you that this very long comment is, this person is consciously passive aggressive. The first one that I said, that person was unconsciously passive aggressive. Didn't realize that they were placating me, trying to distract me by placating my ego so that I'll give them some, a heartwarming story about working the steps, while they're simultaneously saying, yeah, I'll do it when I feel like, and if I feel like it, I'll do it. And that's what, that was a passive aggressive, unconscious manipulation technique to keep them in denial. That was the whole point of that. This person is more conscious about it, and I will prove it because I responded to them. So this person says, again, completely, totally placating my ego. This is a very, very common thing that codependents do. Codependents, when they don't like what you're doing or they're threatened by what you're doing, their first response, because they've been trained to do this, is to placate the ego of the abuser, so that the abuser will then, their ego will be distracted and they'll like them. So first thing he wants is he wants me to like him by making me think that he likes and respects me. The truth of the matter is this person is going to tell us that they have not and have no intention of following my directions. So this person says, what a fated God-ordained prime mover manifested video find. I mean, could you be more, worshiping? I mean, that's turns me into a very grandiose person. Especially that weird thing they do. Now he's going to talk about them. So again, if your first question isn't, what can I do right now to heal? Then you are operating from your denial. So he goes out to talk about, he's going to now expound about the crazy thing that the borderlines do. I'm not going to read all of that and blah, 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 blah. and then mentions Aristotle and logic. So now, this person wants us to be on this intellectual equal thing, like we're sitting at a bar. I'm not here to placate your intellect. I may go into some deep analysis, but it's not because I have pride in my intellect. My analysis, understanding of my analysis, has one goal, which is to let you know that you will not get what you want from them, to break through your denial that someday they'll turn around and love you. That's the only reason I go so deep into the analysis. I have no interest in being wise or brilliant. So your desire to tell me how brilliant you are bounces right off my head. I know what's happening here. You are placating me, you're passive aggressively trying to manipulate me, while at the same time trying to boost your own ego. But what you're going to tell me later is that not only am I not going to do what you suggest, but I resent that you suggest it. So this person goes on, all the logic of Aristotle, whatever, who cares about that, way over my head. The empirical data reflects blah, blah, blah. Reality denial, he's talking about them the whole time, how screwed up they are. Let's see, but at some point the person says that, I got to find it here. The person is telling me that I need to relax, I need to calm down, I need to not be so harsh. And I can't find it because it's so long. Where was it? Oh, yeah. So thanks for this video, albeit perhaps go a bit easier on the people totally confused at why someone else would want to damage other people. I am not harsh with them about why other people want to damage them. I'm not harsh about that at all. I'm harsh at your denial for not doing the work to heal. So this person is doing something that is very typical for codependents, which is the narrative they want you to, that they demand that you accept, is that I'm in pain, therefore you cannot challenge me, you cannot be harsh with me, you must be with me in my pain. And if you don't do it exactly the way I am prescribing, then you are not supportive of me. You are a toxic, unsupportive person. I know, because I've had interactions. I was in group therapy for a long time, and same kind of thing would happen. And the person would get furious with the group when the group wouldn't co-sign their delusionary pain. And so it's a childish way of saying, if you don't meet me exactly where I'm at, even if I'm feeling sorry for myself so I can stay in the delusion, I can stay in the addiction. If you're not going to feel sorry for me and make me feel good, then all you're doing is you're attacking me and you're not supporting me. So that's the message here. This person is saying, I'm not supporting you by being direct with you about what to do to heal. And he's trying to say that I'm being harsh with you when I talk about the other people. I'm not being harsh with you when it comes to them. In fact, you love it when I tear them to pieces, when I psychologically slice them apart and show you how screwed up they are. But he's trying to make it out so that I will go softer on you, which is really, he's talking about himself. So I responded and I said, I appreciate your desire to advise me on how to run my channel, but I haven't asked for your help. So this person, by doing first placating my ego by telling me how amazing I was, and then trying to show how smart he was, and then one-upping me with talking about Aristotle this and all of that, the narrative is, we're the same, you and I. I'm as smart as you. I know exactly what you're talking about. But you know what? You need to go a little softer on the other people But we aren't on the same page at all. If your first response to me isn't, I have worked all 12 steps with a sponsor and I've completely healed myself. If you say that and I believe it, I might listen to you. Now we're on the same page because we share the same experience. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how intellectual you are. I don't care, there's no shortage of narcissist psychiatrists and psychologists. I know because I've met them. So your knowledge of Aristotle means nothing to me because I know you haven't done the work. I know you haven't followed my advice. You're new to the channel, so that's okay. So I responded and I said, thanks for trying to, actually I didn't say thanks. I appreciate your desire to advise me on how to run my channel, but I haven't asked for your help. The point of this channel is not to analyze borderlines, but to inspire people who've been hurt so that they can work the 12 steps and heal, period. It's not my job to enable anyone or make them feel better. My job is to help them to take the actions that will make them feel better. And then I'm telling you, if you have a better way to accomplish this task, by all means, make your own videos, write your own books. In other words, if you know more than I do, stop wasting your time arguing with me. Go write your own books. I'm not going to come onto his channel and tell him why he's right or wrong. His response was, dude, you are way too harsh. He misspelled too. Dude, you are way too harsh on commenters, particularly as most of us have been hurt. I am very aware. I am as aware of as anybody how deeply you've been hurt because I was hurt as deeply. And I also know how entrenched the denial is. And that paragraph, it epitomizes. Because again, the message behind that is F you. I'm smarter than you are. And you need to be kinder to people. So we're in a burning building. If you've been infected by this, as I said, this infection could last the rest of your life. It could even kill you. And it is an infection that tells you it doesn't exist. Unlike the flesh-eating bacteria, people usually aren't in denial. They go, oh my God, I've got an infection. But when you have been infected with codependents, which is a defense mechanism response, you go into deep denial. You go into a state of delusion that is situationally equal to a mental illness. Now, mental illness can't be treated as easily or as quickly. The codependence, or as I like to call it, devaluation, narcissistic devaluation syndrome infection, that can be treated very quickly and very easily. But the infection will tell you that it's not there, and your addiction to staying in the infection will keep you in a place where you don't take action. Not only that, but you will go out of your way not to do it. The most easy one is to kiss my ass, placate me, try to placate my ego or my intellect, and then say, give an excuse about why you can't do it. And I'm supposed to have been distracted by that as my ego has been stroked. Because that's how you deal with narcissists. You divert their abuse by appealing to their ego, and that's what they want. They get distracted by that and they feel good, and then you can run away and skirt around or find some way to hopefully control them and get them to love you. I'm not interested in you liking me, and I'm not interested in liking you. I'm interested in giving you the tools to heal. This is nothing personal, one way or the other. You can't offend me, and you can't make me fall in love with you. You can't kiss my ass and placate me, and you can't anger me and piss me off. I'm only interested in giving you the tools. You take it, you don't. It's completely up to you. You don't, it's not you run the risk. It's guaranteed this will stay with you for the rest of your life. So I thought about responding to this guy, but he obviously, I know he hasn't done the work, and I can tell he's very entrenched about not doing it. And he hasn't heard what I said. Listen, he goes on to, no, that was me. All right. So here's another, again, the question should be, your first question should be, what do I need to do to heal? But the reason that you don't ask that is because I've already answered it. Go to ppgrecoveredcodependents.org. In your first meeting, say, I'm new, I need a sponsor. Get a sponsor. Follow your sponsor's instructions. First find out that they've worked all 12 steps. And then work all 12 steps according to instructions with a sponsor. Then sponsor somebody else. I guarantee you if you do that, I guarantee you, you can come back on the channel and tell me I'm wrong. But I guarantee you if you follow my instructions to the letter, you will not ever have to deal with the pain you're dealing with when it comes to your relationship. I dare you to prove me wrong. So far, nobody has. So this person, first question is, do borderlines come back after no contact? And I read this and I'm like, what the hell? The whole point of that video was to tell you what to do to heal. Doesn't ask, and I said in the beginning, you know, asking all the questions about the borderline is meaningless. It doesn't help you. Didn't hear me say that. So person says, do borderlines come back after no contact? And then goes through all what she did to me. She did this, she did that, she did this. And let's see how long, yeah. And then my response is, please watch the whole video and follow my suggestions. But what I should have said was, who cares? It doesn't matter if they come back after no contact. The only reason you would ask that is because you unconsciously want them to come back. That's the only reason you would ask that. And I know you haven't done what I suggested. You go no contact so that you can be in a safe place while you're working the steps. If you work the steps and you heal, they won't come back. I guarantee you that. They won't come back. They only come back when they can smell blood in the water. Want to make sure that your wound is completely healed? Take the medication. All right, so that's it. Sometimes I need to just get it off my chest, but you know, I understand why people do this. I understand that they're deluded, that they have a psychological infection that prevents them from hearing. But at the same time, it's frustrating. I mean, I'm not asking you to follow the channel. I'm asking you to stop watching, to do the protocol heal, so you can stop watching the channel. I'm not asking you to you know, do anything. I'm not asking you to be a client. I'm not looking for you to pay a membership fee. I'm not trying to get anything out of you. In fact, I turn away people who ask me to counsel them. I say, you don't need me to counsel you. I'm just going to tell you to go to a meeting, get a sponsor, and work the steps. Just work the steps. Stop asking me how it's going to feel. Well, what's going to happen? What's it going to feel like? That was the other thing behind that. Can you give an inspiring story of what happened when you work the steps? That's somebody saying, I want to know how it's going to feel good when I do it. I don't want to do anything that's not going to feel good. I'm frightened. Well, it's going to feel however it's going to feel. You take the antibiotics, they're going to taste good, they're going to taste bad. You might have, upset stomach, or you won't. It doesn't matter. Take the medication and heal, or don't. It's completely up to you. ppgrecoveredcodependents.org. In fact, did I put it on here? No. I think I deleted it, but that's where you go. All right, that's it. I wish you all the best. Do the work, follow instructions, be free of the pain, and then you never have to watch my channel ever again. And that's what I hope for you. You never have to watch the channel again. Go enjoy your life. Never think about them ever again. Be happy, find love, and enjoy yourself. That's my hope for you.